Imagine this. An early morning in bustling New York City, the world just waking up. Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, is walking to an investor conference, likely running through his presentation in his mind. Suddenly, he's gunned down in a chillingly calculated attack. But what makes this even more bizarre are the shell casings left at the scene, engraved with the words deny, depose, and defend. Why these words? Why go to such lengths? Was this a frustrated policyholder seeking revenge? Or is there something far deeper, more sinister at play? Let's peel back the layers of this case and see if we can make sense of it all. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your theories in the comments, because this story is as complex as it is unsettling. The scene of the crime. The attack was precise, almost clinical. Thompson, a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, was shot outside the New York Hilton Midtown Hotel during his morning walk. This wasn't a random act of violence. There were no witnesses, no signs of a struggle. The assailant struck and disappeared, leaving behind only the engraved shell casings. The choice of words, deny, depose, and defend, immediately caught investigators' attention. These terms align eerily with the strategies critiqued in J.M. Feynman's book, Delay, Deny, Defend, which examines how insurance companies allegedly avoid paying claims by delaying processes, denying legitimate requests, and defending against lawsuits. Could this be the work of someone directly affected by these tactics? Or were the engravings meant to throw investigators off the trail? The weapon and its implications. The murder weapon, a Brugger and Tomad Fief P9 pistol with an integrated suppressor, is not something you pick up at your local gun shop. Known as a spy gun, this rare firearm is designed for stealth operations. The use of such a weapon raises serious questions. How did the assailant acquire this gun? Accessing such a specialized weapon implies significant resources, underground connections, or both. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment act. It was meticulously planned. The sophistication of the weapon suggests that this was more than a random act of revenge. Could the use of this firearm hint at professional involvement? The engraved shell casings, message or misdirection? Let's focus on those engraved shell casings. The words deny, depose, and defend clearly connect to the insurance industry's controversial practices. According to Feynman's delay, deny, defend, these strategies are not just tactics, but an entire playbook used to maximize profits at the expense of policyholders. Engraving these specific words on bullets could be interpreted as an act of protest, a way to ensure the message gets across. But here's where things get tricky. Why go to such lengths? Engraving bullets is time-consuming and requires access to equipment. It's not something the average person would think to do. This feels calculated, almost too calculated. Was it really a frustrated individual making a statement? Or was it a red herring meant to mislead investigators? The personal angle, death threats, and industry frustration. In the weeks leading up to his death, Thompson reportedly received death threats. These threats were tied to his role at UnitedHealthcare, particularly concerning the company's coverage denial practices. This aligns with public frustration surrounding the healthcare and insurance industries. Millions of Americans grapple with denied claims, rising premiums, and complex policies, often feeling powerless against giant corporations. Feynman's book highlights how these tactics fuel resentment among policyholders. Could one of these individuals have decided to take matters into their own hands? But if this were simply about personal frustration, why the engraved bullets, the rare weapon, and the level of precision? The deeper we dig, the more this looks like something beyond a single person's vendetta. The Big Pharma connection, a whistleblower silenced? Rumors are swirling that Thompson was preparing to expose secrets about the pharmaceutical industry. If true, this would add a whole new dimension to the case. The plot thickens when we consider that just weeks before his death, Thompson, along with several UnitedHealthcare executives, sold significant amounts of company stock. Thompson alone offloaded shares worth $15.1 million, while other executives, including Chairman Stephen Hemsley, collectively netted over $100 million. The timing of these sales is deeply suspicious. They occurred just before news broke of a Department of Justice antitrust investigation into UnitedHealthcare's acquisitions. These sales, particularly Thompson's, his first as CEO since 2021, raised serious questions about insider trading. Why sell now when Thompson's stock options still had years before expiration? Was this a coincidence, or did he and other executives know something the public didn't? Adding to the intrigue, these transactions have become the subject of lawsuits alleging fraud and insider trading. Could this have played a role in Thompson's murder? If so, was his death a message, a way to prevent deeper scrutiny into UnitedHealthcare's practices, or even the broader healthcare industry? The healthcare and pharmaceutical industries are deeply intertwined, with billions of dollars at stake. Could Thompson's assassination have been a silencing tactic, orchestrated by those who stood to lose the most from his revelations? This wouldn't be the first time a high-profile figure faced threats for speaking out. Feynman's book indirectly touches on the power dynamics at play in industries that prioritize profits over people. Was Thompson's death an extreme example of what happens when someone tries to disrupt these systems? Segment 6, Insider Knowledge and Inside Job. One of the most baffling aspects of this case is how the assailant knew exactly where Thompson would be. Early morning walks aren't typically publicized, yet the killer was there, ready and waiting. This level of precision suggests insider knowledge or advanced surveillance. Could someone within UnitedHealthcare, or connected to it, have provided this information? Or was this the work of a highly organized external group with access to Thompson's routines? Feynman's deny-defend highlights how industries operate behind closed doors, often with layers of bureaucracy and secrecy. Could this culture of opacity have extended to the planning of this crime? What the book tells us about the system. Feynman's book lays bare the darker side of insurance and healthcare, exposing how these industries often prioritize profits over policyholders. The tactics described, delays, denials, and aggressive defenses, create a system where the average person feels powerless. This system breeds resentment, frustration, and, in extreme cases, desperation. If Thompson's death is connected to these practices, it's a chilling reminder of how far-reaching their impact can be. But here's the twist. The precision and sophistication of this crime don't align with the profile of a frustrated policyholder. It feels more like an organized operation, possibly leveraging the very secrecy and complexity that Feynman critiques. The bigger picture, who benefits? Let's step back and ask the big question. Who benefits from Thompson's death? If the goal was to silence him, the engraved bullets and public nature of the crime seem counterproductive. This suggests two possibilities. A personal vendetta. Someone deeply impacted by insurance practices wanted to make a statement. A cover-up. The engraved bullets were a deliberate misdirection meant to obscure a larger agenda, possibly tied to corporate or industry secrets. In either case, the timing, weapon, and execution point to a larger story. So where does this leave us? The assassination of Brian Thompson is a case riddled with questions. Why would someone take the time to engrave bullets with such specific words? How did the assailant acquire a rare weapon and gain access to Thompson's movements? Could this be an inside job, a professional hit, or a desperate act of vengeance? As Feynman's deny-defend shows, the insurance and healthcare industries are complex, often frustrating systems, but could they also be dangerous to those who challenge them? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Is this a case of one person's outrage or a carefully orchestrated conspiracy? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning everything. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and share your theories. This story is far from over, and your voice might just uncover the missing piece.
A top CEO is dead after being gunned down outside a hotel in New York in a terrifying early morning attack. Brian Thompson, head of UnitedHealth, was shot in the chest outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan.
At this time, every indication is that this was a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack.
At around 6:46 a.m. on Wednesday, December the 4th, according to police sources. The gunman was reportedly waiting for Thompson outside the hotel where he was arriving for a conference.
The shooter arrived at the location on foot about 5 minutes prior to the victim's arrival. He stands alongside the building line as numerous other people and pedestrians pass him by. The shooter steps onto the sidewalk from behind the car. He ignores numerous other pedestrians, approaches the victim from behind, and shoots him in the back. The shooter then walks toward the victim and continues to shoot. It appears that the gun malfunctions as he clears the jam and begins to fire again.
Thompson was rushed to a nearby hospital in a critical condition, where he later died. The suspect fled the scene down 6th Avenue on a bicycle and is still at large, police say. Eyewitnesses say the man was wearing a mask and milling around the hotel when he spotted Thompson and unloaded several rounds from a distance, hitting him multiple times.
The shooter appears to be a light-skinned male. He's wearing a light brown or cream-colored jacket, a black face mask, black and white sneakers, and a very distinctive gray backpack.
Thompson, 50, took over as CEO of UnitedHealth in 2021 after almost 2 decades with the company. Police say the investigation is ongoing.